Hello everybody, Althamir here again. Thank you for clicking on the video. Today we're going to be getting into the topic of my thoughts on Arcanist and PvP. So let's just dive on in. I've been playing Arcanist. I've been leveling Arcanist since it came out, but I've been playing Arcanist in PvP for quite a bit the last couple of days, just to get an idea of, where it's at, what it's good at, what it's bad at, you know, Um, obviously, you guys know if you watch my other videos on Arcanist where the weaknesses are, where I think it could improve and all that. Now, I will say that Arcanist is probably one of the more balanced classes that's come to ESO in terms of new classes. You know, when Necromancer hit, it was, I don't care what anybody says. A lot of people say that Necromancer was like overpowered when it hit. No, Necromancer was not overpowered when it hit. Um, Warden, Stam Warden probably was. Um, so first of all, I'd like to say that the mid-range game, which is the spammable rune blades, is only 22 meters. Uh, Fate Carver is only 22 meters. This is only 15 meters. So you are more of a mid-range kind of player. I think that is really part of the curse part of Arcanist, where you really have to play in that mid-range. So it kind of forces you to be tankier because players can get away from you easier. Um, and and if you're in melee range, you're in danger of stamina players or just melee players. So you need to be tankier, and you kind of need to play that way. And I think that kind of works at a disadvantage for Arcanists in a way, especially for a player like me, where I kind of lean more towards damage. Now I'm not the best player in the world, but I've been playing for a long time, so I kind of look at all that under attack. Kind of know what you shouldn't. Like right now I'm playing with a build of Wretched Vitality, one Magnet Incarnate, one Belorg, and then Deadly with Inferno. I don't remember. I think Inferno does increase dot damage, but we'll see. I don't remember. But yeah, so the mid range game is one thing I'll have to say is kind of a negative. When you're on top of a keep, let's pretend this is a keep here, right? You're on top of a keep, and there's an enemy down there, right? And now normally, if the keep's flagged and you've already spent your forward camp, and you're on cooldown, well, you want to be there for the defense to get the tick and help your alliance, right? So you have to attack from up here, But for Arcanist, all I can do is heavy attack or light attack because I'm mid range, and my attacks don't reach the bottom from the keep. So that's a real disadvantage. Also, um, I feel that while these abilities, even this ability, are really good with damage, you can't really rely on this ability, the ultimate Tide King. I can't really rely on this in PvP. I'm already at a disadvantage because I have to line up in order for Fate Carver to work right. I have to line up my stun with my immobilize, and then make sure I have Crux so I can maximize this. Problem is I use the Crux spender for this for PvE, so I really have to make sure that I cast this first, then I get my Crux, and then I stun. But then I lose my. It's a whole thing. Um, so I go with the Ice Comet as my ultimate because that's a really good ultimate. It has a dot to it too, I believe. Yeah. Um, Now this ability, now a lot of people hate this ability. They're like, this ability is so strong, blah 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 blah. But I'll tell you why I don't think people should really worry about this ability. Um, One, it's in the tanking skill line, and as you can tell, let me quickly. You see the shield numbers, right? And you're like, oh my god, both shields scale off your health, max health. Say it again. Both shields scale off your max health. So with me only having 31.5 health and not being a tank, for 1 second I'm at 11. Again, only a second I'm at 11. For the other 5 seconds I'm at 5.6. Because my max magicka is only 20. Because my max health is only 31. Sorry, I thought of the other shield ability. Um, and the direct damage that comes from this ability is scaled off my armor, which is minor. I don't really use it, but I can get my armor up pretty high. So it's at 25 and 23. So that's a bonus for Arcanists. They can be accidentally tanky, right? But here's the other part: consume Crux to heal yourself for 3k health, scaling off again max health. So my burst heal is really based on my max health, and if I'm damaged, I really don't want to go. Hold on. Actually, that's a good thing to talk about next. For damage, I really don't want to go above like 30. Like, I want to be in the range of 30 to 35 in order to still be pretty good with my damage. How did this get popped out again? Um, so that is one thing that I think a lot of players have to keep in mind. If you're running into an Arcanist, pay attention to their health. If they have over 45k health, sometimes even 40k health, but if they range from like 40k to like 50 plus, just go in the other direction. They're there to troll you or pull you into a trap. Just they're a tank. Just turn around and go fight. Go fight somewhere else. Or if you need ultimate, you can get ultimate from them. That's pretty much all they're good for. Now here's where I will say that still, even with that crux change where I have to constantly get crux, that really hurts the offense. So I'd say that if I had to put it into what people are familiar with for tiers or whatever, with S being the top and then what I think D is the bottom, um, I'd probably say that damage wise in PvP, after playing around with it, I still have to do some learning. I still have to get used to Arcanist. But I'd have to say that Arcanist for offense is probably around um probably like a B tier or C or like a really high C tier because they have a kiss curse going on, right? Fate Carver hits really hard. I'm not gonna argue with that. It does. But you could be stunned with this. I can be knocked back while casting this. I can be, all the things that you can do to somebody because it's happened to me in PvP. It's happened to me in PvP so far today. So that's not great. It leaves me vulnerable for, dying. Um, and this needs to be lined up. Okay. Like, I really need to line up my immobilize with my stun, and then I can cast this and hope that they are not an above average player and they just dodge roll it. That's what I'm seeing a lot too. A lot of players just dodge roll this ability. So I'd probably say low B to high C because you can't use the ultimate and things need to line up. You're a mid range player. This doesn't really work in PvE. I mean, in PvP. But all these are pretty good. but you have to line this up. If you don't line this up, people are just going to dodge it. And even if you do line this up and if you mobilize and you stun, people might CC break really easily and they still might dodge it anyway. So that really runs into a problem, you know. But as for tanking, well, this is where Arcanist kind of shines a little bit. Like I said, I can be accidentally tanky. Like right now, I'm at 14 and 12 for resistances. I cast this, come on. And I am at 25 and 23, like I said before. Like that is so crazy good. You know, so that really beefs me up. Then you got this ultimate, which is my oh crap ultimate. I love this ultimate. But again, I want to make sure people understand this is based off, can you read it? It's based off of, come on, go back. I'm having a senior moment. It's based off of max health. So I only have 31k health. I can't maximize this ability, but it's still good for me. Healing wise, I think is where, no, before I get into healing, defense is again where, how the fuck, go away. I keep on hitting the slash. That's how that keeps coming back. It's really screwing with my head because my ADD, like I keep seeing people typing and I'm turning over to see that I forget where I am and what I'm trying to say. For defense, I would rank Arcanist probably like high B to A tier, if not higher than that, because they have a lot of things that help them in that sense. Even these, if you're more of a tankier Arcanist, you know. But healing is where I think Arcanist really suffers the most, and I'll tell you why. Because I said so. Thanks for watching. No, it's because this ability here. Now you see what it says there. The runes heal for 3.9, 3k. We'll say 4k for rounding up sake. Health 3 times. And then an additional 4k health over 6 seconds, right? Here's the problem with having a burst heal that bursts you up over time is people can out damage it in PvP. Let me see, I think I have this ability unlocked. Let's do this. Alright, now see this here. 1.8, 1.8. Did you see it? I'll do it again. Well, let me get my... right now I'm playing around with my food. I'm not sure which food I'm going to go with. I usually go with long fin or some form of that, but I have a ton of these, so I just use these for now. And this is only a for now thing. I'm testing it. So let's do this test right. Okay. All right, so I'm at 7, so that got me up to 12. Right? That's not really a burst steal. And again, because it's, even though it's only seconds, if you're in a fight, people, you know, instead of getting the full, what is 4 times 3, instead of getting healed for the 12k at once, you know, if you're in a fight, you're taking it over time, which means the damage you're taking can kill the heal. That's bad. That's really bad. This means that this is really not the greatest heal, at least in PvP. Because I don't know why they did it 3 times. I don't know why they just didn't make it. What the hell? I don't care. I don't know. I have that shut off. I don't understand. Anyway, sorry. I don't know why they just don't make it the runes heal for 12k health. Like I don't understand why they have to do it over 3 times, because stick with my thinking. If you're fighting somebody, you heal for 4k. They hit you for 4k. So you didn't get healed. You get then healed for another 4k. They hit you for another 4k. You didn't get healed. You see what I'm saying? Like your damage, the damage you're taking is going to kill all the heals coming in. But if you're hit for 12k heal and then somebody attacks you and hits you for 4k, you still got healed 8k. That's, but I think the reason why they did that is because the tankiness of Arcanist is so high and this ability is so good that they can't make this much better because this has the potential to be a really good heal. Just probably not really in my situation, but I will be testing it, honestly. The next heal I went for was titled Chakram, which is kind of like, kind of like healing word here. And the shield from it's pretty decent, but again, it only lasts, the shield part of it doesn't really last that long. The shield lasts 6 seconds. But if you combine this with this, now you get a shield about 10k. But again, it's expensive to keep that going. And I think that's what, if you're fighting an Arcanist, I think that's one thing you have to keep in mind. Yes, they can shield stack. Yes, I can get my thing up to 14k, but did you pay attention to how low my magicka got just by casting those two abilities? Watch. 77%, and that's not even talking this ability and then this ability, and then let's say I need this ability, and then the heal. Now I'm down to 44%, and I haven't even attacked yet. This gets me down. So you see what I'm saying? It's just, this class costs a lot because of this ability and this ability. And then, so you can't sit there and just spam things, which is part of the curse part. And I want people to keep that in mind when they're fighting an Arcanist. They can't keep casting these abilities. Like, the cost of these are a lot. Impervious is 3.6. This is 2.5. This is 3.2. This is 3.5. This is 2.5. This is 3.2. This is 4.1. This here is 3.8. This is 4.3. So you see, like, the cost is a lot. So my thought is, I still have to do, I really have to get used to the mid-range game of an Arcanist, where I'm more vulnerable in a fight. So I have to make sure that I keep my buffs up, I have to make sure I keep this up, and I keep this up as much as I at least can without burning through my magicka, and I keep my defenses up too. Because this acts more as a burst heal than this does. Even though this is only 9k and this is 12k total, it doesn't matter. Because these heals can be negated with incoming damage. This is a burst of 9, so that's my burst heal. I'll probably take this off my bar for something else. Maybe I'll try this ability. I really love this. I really love to be able to slot this ability to give me more weapon and spell damage. Because right now, my weapon and spell damage isn't that bad. I don't have to cast it. I don't know why I did. It's 4.2 and my penetration's 10.7, so that's pretty good for PvP. And then the reason why I did Wretched Vitality is for the magic recovery. So right now I'm at 1.7. But if I cast a major and a minor... Oops. Oh, wait, what? I'm at 2.2. So that helps me out a lot. I guess it's only on the bar that you cast it on? That's stupid. I'll have to remember that for next time. See, learning stuff all the time. In the middle of a video, no less. Embarrassing. But this helps me out. Actually, this helps me out because these are my top costing abilities. And I have to almost spam them to keep me alive. But yeah, I mean, I think the only thing that's kind of overtuned on Arcanist right now is probably this. right now, this gives me a shield of 46.4. If this was able to be brought down to like on this build to like 35 or 30, it would still be a really good shield, but not overpowered in other situations. I think that would be really I think that'd be really beneficial. You wouldn't you like lose that unique build of stacking health and using this as a damage, in melee range. So you don't lose that factor of it, but it's harder for people like, me, to use this ability as like an oh shit moment. So overall, it's a well-balanced class. It has some holes. You're more vulnerable because you have to be in a mid-range game, at least in the way I play. It's hard to rely on this because people can dodge it. And with skill delay and lag, it's not really reliable. Even if you are able to immobilize them and stun them, it's still not reliable that this will land. So it's hard to rely on this as your damage. But when people get hit by it and stay in it for whatever reason, they usually melt pretty quick. This also at least does something in terms of additional damage, which is really great. I would love to be able to use this ultimate and have it be more reliable, but I don't really, it's tough. It would have been better if maybe they, instead of doing this ultimate here, they did, when you're running around Apocrypha and those, like, and all the tentacles come out of the ground? If it was like that, think of Nova, but more Hermaeus Mora like, with tentacles coming out of the ground and slapping people and doing damage, and people take a dot. If that's what this was, I think that'd be a little better and more reliable. And because of these abilities and just their promising upsides, it makes the fact that this ability is not really that usable, it makes it okay. Now, if this was ever nerfed, then it would be a glaring hole. And I want people to understand that. It's only okay because this is so powerful, and that's a big but. I'm talking about huge here, guys. I mean, like, huge. Like, King Kong let himself go, but, you have to aim it and it can be dodged. This ability has never killed me in PvP unless I lagged out. Really, truly. I'm not kidding. I'm not just gloating. And before you say you're Arcanist lover, of course you would say that. Arcanist is a fun class, but it's not my favorite class. Sork is my favorite class. Sork will forever be my favorite class. But because of this ability's upside, and it has the potential to hit so hard, even despite its ways to be easily dodged or whatever, it makes these abilities okay that they're mid-range. It makes all these abilities okay because they all in collection work together really well. Right? It makes it okay that, like I said, it makes it okay that this ability isn't really worth slotting. Now, if they tone down this stun, here's the issue with the stun, everybody. And I've made this video too long, so this will probably be about it. The problem, I don't think, is the stun. I've been hit by this, and it's a strong stun, but it's a strong stun because in Cyrodiil, with lag and skill delay and all that, break free doesn't always work. So it doesn't matter what you get stunned by. It could be this, it could be, it could be a fear, it could be a knockback, it could be whatever it is. Break free doesn't always respond when it should. And that's why this ability is so strong. Is it strong because it gives minor vulnerability, major brittle, and minor brittle? Sure. But I don't think if, let's say for some reason, hopeful reason, lag, skill delay, and break free are all fixed. Break free works all the time. I think that people would finally see, oh yeah, stuns aren't so bad. I mean, they suck, but I'm able to get away from them when I want to. And I've never had a problem with a stun when everything is working the way they're supposed to. You know, the only time that stuns stink, even if it's a strong stun like this one, is when CC doesn't work, even though I have full stam and everything, and things are delayed and, whatever. That's when things suck. So, yeah, I mean, there's some glaring holes. I'd love to be able to get disability, and I'd love for disability. Disability is really fun when it works. Honestly, it is. I've gotten away from some really crappy situations in this with disability. I tested it a little bit today, but it doesn't always work, so that kind of stinks. But its potential is amazing. If they're able to fix it where it works all the time, you can do some really, really fun stuff with this. And this ability is really fun. I just don't know where to put it. I might take this off my bar, considering, I might have to rely on vigor versus, this, at least to give my, so at least something costs stamina, because I have 19k stamina, so I can put it on my bar. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. I mean, it hasn't really changed much since PTS, but after some testing, I will say, I think people, once they learn Arcanist and learn its upsides, downsides, stuff like that, I think it will be okay. But, ladies and gentlemen, you guys, if you see someone with 40 to over 50k health, just go in the opposite direction. That's a tank. Okay? Don't fight the tank. Just don't. Unless you need ultimate. If you can range him, just do a heavy attack to get some ultimate and then go away, sure. But otherwise, it's really not worth it. So that's the only Arcanists that I've had trouble with are tanks. I haven't had many problems with that, with killing, and people certainly have not had many problems killing me. I mean, in this section here, you look up, I'm 7-1. I've only done 30k, 32k AP because I just logged back in and, did some things after doing another video. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, everybody. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did like the video and you really enjoy my content. So you find yourself coming back, all that good crap. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.